Have you ever seen your dogs bark at someone, even if that person seems harmless? Or maybe they act suspiciously around certain people, while with others they're nothing but affectionate. Many believe dogs have a sixth sense. But what if I told you science has proven this? Yes, now we have real evidence. Your dogs might be sensing things you're not even aware of. Curious how? Stick around until the end of this video and find out how your dogs can identify a person with bad intentions and what they might be trying to warn you about. Number 7. Dogs can detect a malicious person through behavior. Imagine the scene. You're with your dogs trying to open a jar, and 3 people nearby react differently. The first person helps, the second remains indifferent, and the last openly refuses to help. You might think your dogs would take a treat from the third person without a second thought, right? But what science has discovered is surprising. Researchers from the Journal of Neuroscience and Biobehavioral Reviews conducted this exact experiment to understand how dogs perceive human intentions. They tested the dogs' reactions in these 3 scenarios, then had each person offer the dogs a treat. Many expected the dogs to take treats from anyone. After all, it's food, right? But the results were surprising. Most dogs accepted treats from the person who helped their owner. Many also accepted treats from the neutral person, but avoided taking treats from the one who refused to help. It seemed they sensed the negative behavior and decided not to trust. This study reinforces that dogs not only observe our actions but also judge our intentions. Number 6. Dogs can detect liars. Another study, conducted in Japan, followed a similar experiment to see if dogs could recognize an untrustworthy person. In this experiment, scientists placed 2 containers near the dogs, one filled with treats and the other empty. In the first test, a person pointed to the container with the treat. In the second, another person pointed to the empty container. The dogs were happy to find the treat pointed out by the first person, but were disappointed to discover they had been misled by the second. Later, when the second person pointed to the container with the treat, the dogs didn't approach it. They remembered that this person had been deceitful in the previous round. Number 5. Dogs can remember their owner's scent forever. Dogs have an extremely complex olfactory memory and can remember their owner's scent throughout their lives. The emotional association with a person's scent remains stored in the dog's memory. When a dog recognizes a specific smell linked to a human who brought them happiness, a part of their brain is activated, and they remember the person. So, even if time has passed or someone's appearance has changed, the dog will remember how that person smelled and how important they were, getting excited to see them again. Studies show that an owner's scent activates the pleasure centers in the dog's brain, similar to how the human brain reacts to the scent of a loved one. Other studies suggest that the longer the owner is away, the more enthusiasm the dogs display upon their return. And if you're not around, your dogs feel that something is missing, and a certain sense of security is lost. If a dog's owner does not return within a certain period, the dogs may eventually experience it as a loss. Similarly, if someone has harmed a dog, they will remember that person's scent and will likely avoid being near them. Number 4. Dogs can interpret facial expressions. In an experiment conducted in Austria using touchscreen displays, scientists tested dogs by showing images of human mouths and eyes with happy or angry expressions. Half of the dogs received a treat when they touched an image of a happy face, and the other half were rewarded when they touched an angry face. Then, the dogs were tested. They were shown photos of unfamiliar happy or angry human faces, and they still managed to differentiate the expressions and earn a reward by associating them with the expressions they had seen before. Dogs who were rewarded for touching positive expressions returned to touch them again. And the same happened with dogs rewarded for touching negative expressions. Scientists believe that this experiment showed that dogs can discriminate between human expressions. It is thought that dogs use their experience with humans to understand these differences. An interesting finding in this study was that before dogs learned the rules of the experiment using the displays, they showed a natural aversion to touching images of angry faces, suggesting that our furry friends already have some awareness of the meaning of human expressions. Are you enjoying the video? Is it helping you in any way? If so, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video, as this helps us a lot and lets YouTube know that you're enjoying our videos, so more of our content will appear for you. Thank you. Number 3. Dogs can sense bad intentions. The bond between a dog and its owner is deep. If your dogs bark at some people but not others, it may be because they pick up on unconscious signals you emit about these people. Even if you are being friendly and welcoming to someone, your dogs sense unconscious signs that you are not completely at ease. Dogs' sense of smell is about 10,000 to 100,000 times better than humans, and they can detect when you're nervous because your body produces stress-related hormones and chemicals with distinctive smells. The most obvious of these would be sweat and adrenaline release when someone who makes you uncomfortable approaches. Your dogs may sense that you're uneasy and bark to protect you. Research has shown that dogs can sense changes in the human brain through alterations in emitted pheromones. This helps explain the many stories we hear about dogs showing aggression or aversion to someone before something bad happens. The dogs sense what's coming before the person even knows. Number 2. Dogs can interpret body language. According to animal behavior experts, dogs pick up on every movement a dog or human makes. Whether it's a rigid posture, playful behavior, or nervousness, dogs know instantly what it means. This happens because dogs rely on the body language of other dogs to assess their own safety, and this behavior also transfers to humans. If a person says one thing but acts differently, your dogs will notice immediately. That's why your dogs might bark or growl at someone they believe to be a threat, even if that person is only thinking of causing harm. Number 1. Dogs can detect serious illnesses. Believe it or not, dogs can detect cancer just by the smell of a person's body. A study conducted at the University of California, Davis, showed that dogs can identify cancer-affected tissues in a range of samples. Cancer cells have a specific odor not found in healthy cells. In the United Kingdom, there is even an organization called Medical Detection Dogs, which trains dogs to detect the smell of cancer in samples such as breath, urine, and saliva. Dogs can also save the lives of people with diabetes. Diabetics need to control blood glucose levels, which can dangerously drop quickly. A sudden drop in blood sugar releases chemicals that dogs can detect on someone's breath or skin. The organization Dogs for Diabetics trains dogs to alert their owners when their glucose level is low. In addition, dogs' super sense of smell can predict epileptic seizures and detect diseases like malaria and Parkinson's. Bonus: why do dogs bark at some dogs and not at others? You're walking down the street and your dog sees another dog approaching. They might bark and pull on the leash to keep the other dogs away, or they might simply lower their head and walk by. But why does this happen? Humans communicate with words while dogs communicate primarily through body language and scent. Your dog might bark at other dogs showing threatening signs. Subtle signals like remaining still, a stiff tail, a tense mouth, or a wrinkled snout may bother your dogs. They can also detect in the scent signs of something they like or dislike, even from a distance. Another reason for immediate dislike could be past experience. If, for example, your dogs were attacked in the past by a brown male dog, they may show fear or aggression when seeing similar dogs. Who would have thought dogs could do so much? They can detect serious diseases, understand our body language, identify malicious people, and even decide to stop trusting us if we try to deceive them. So next time your dogs growl at someone in your house, they might be picking up on something you can't see. Maybe your dogs know something you don't yet. Now, do you know why your dogs can't take their eyes off you? Have you ever wondered why your furry friend watches you so intently? In this video here on the screen, I explain 9 reasons why your dogs are always observing you. Click on the screen and continue with me in the incredible world of dogs.